Jidenna is showing on Lone Wolf Epic TV. Lone Wolf Epic TV. So yeah, that's the channel name. And let's a quick recap of Judena talks about this prince who was fit to be a king, but of course, when it comes to chieftaincy, you need to get properly done with family procedure, meaning that you have to get a wife, start having children, then you are fit to be a king. That is just a way of saying that you are being responsible, you are taking care of a family. So in search of a wife, he ended up falling in love with this young lady who is already in a relationship, and because of that situation, the prince was just fighting this young man for the girlfriend's attention. But things went sour when the girl that he was actually in love with, the prince, was helping him to fight these strange boys girlfriend's attention. But things went sour when the prince ended up falling in love with the assistant, who was actually the love of his life. got poisoned by uh got poisoned by one of the maidens in the palace. So the strange boyfriend who's the prince wanted to snatch the girlfriend, was a herbalist, came in and saved this girl for the prince. And that was how the prince eventually fall in love with this assistant. Yeah, pretty much that's how I can actually put this story. Jidenna. Judena is actually played by Chidi Dike. So his name, or the name he was used in this movie, is Judena. So he was the herbalist and all of that. Now let's get into a recap of this movie. For the last 1 week, it seems like YouTube producers are going into epic movie, which is a good thing if they are doing it right, alright? Yes, so it's a good thing, at least we are not losing our culture in the process. So that is very good. I applaud them for shooting an epic movie. It's not easy, especially when it comes to location and costume and all of that. It takes a lot to shoot an epic movie. So, kudos to whoever is behind this whole project. That was a good one. Now let's get into the characters of this movie. The story itself is actually really good, because normally when it comes to epic movie, the prince, most time the prince always, the wicked prince always doesn't get things in their way. The wicked shall have no peace anyway. So that was the twist about this storyline, is that the prince ended up falling in love, or getting the love of his life closer to him than fighting a commoner's girlfriend for their attention. So all of that in a way kind of make it quite different from the ones that we usually see. Most time epic movie like this, storyline like this, the prince always doesn't even get a wife at all, or doesn't become a king at all, or something just bad happens to the prince or something like that. But here, it's kind of different. If you look at it, or if you have seen the movie, you understand what I'm saying. So the storyline is actually very interesting. Now I also want to appreciate how the costume was done. The sag the beats were beautiful. The sag is epic, so we will take it like that. And then of course also the location was actually very beautiful. Now with the location, I want to say that this location seems like the same location that Morrison shoot his movie, with Kadiri shoot her movie. I'm not sure of Nosa Rex, because there's a little bit different, but I am thinking that the YouTube producers are using the same location for this epic movie. Most of the time, the how do I say it? Specific locations like the riverside or the riverbank kind of give it away. I'm not mad at it at all, but I'm happy that they also now have their own special location for an epic movie like this. Because when it comes to Netflix and then cinema movies that have been shooting all these grand Yoruba epic movies or storylines. They also have their own film village where they shoot the those kind of movies. So I'm happy that YouTube also have their own space now for epic movie. So happy about that. Now, Jidenna, Chidi Dike's character, he was actually the main character. I kind of feel Chidi Dike, should I say the star of Chidi Dike is reduced. I don't know how to put it in a good, that will not come across as a bad way. I'm not saying, I mean, sometimes you can't shine all the time, but that notwithstanding, his character here was actually very interesting. It wasn't cringe watching. I know sometimes a lot of people compare him with Clinton Joshua. I mean, I think that with time he will get better. When you watch this movie, he has actually improved in his acting. So if you haven't seen this movie, you should go out there and watch it. Jidenna showing on loan Wolf Epic TV. I think that's the name of the channel. So yeah, Chidi Dike was actually very interesting. He wasn't boring. He wasn't cringe watching. The character was in the only part where it was kind of shaking in his character was when he was supposed to show emotion when he was being tortured by the prince. I wasn't getting that emotional connection with his character in terms of how he was suffering, how he was being maltreated. I wasn't getting that. But that notwithstanding, any other part or any other acting, excuse me, any other acting aside that, he was okay. Then let me talk about Feugo. This guy was so good. He was actually my favorite character in this movie. He was so good. The only thing or the only problem I have with him is that he doesn't open his mouth. I don't know. I think that's how he talks. You know, he doesn't open his mouth to talk so that you can hear the words from his mouth well. But acting, he's really good. Acting, he was the prince and he was just looking for a wife, and I love that so much. I mean, he gave me emotion. When he started falling in love with this girl and only for the girl to get poisoned by a maiden. He gave me an emotion there in that scene, and that was so interesting to see. That was what I was expecting from Chidi. You were being tortured, you were being in prison, you are not seeing your girl, and you're not giving me something to work to feel sorry for you. Nah. And this guy, even if the role was switched, this guy will still play Chidi's role very well. And I think it was perfect because the wickedness he fit Figo fit the prince that was wicked, when he was torturing, when he was ordering, the way the command himself, like he has that wicked Nima looking, and he did so well. Now let's talk about Miracle Godwin and then the other lady who was helping the prince. Let me just combine the two of them. Now the two ladies, the main two ladies characters, they were also okay. I wasn't really particular about their acting. It was just an okay. There was nothing wow about what they were acting. Miracle, again, I wanted more emotion. I wasn't getting that. Now, I just want to also appreciate the fact that we didn't see any kissing. They were doing more hugging, more, service love. When I mean service love, meaning art of service love. We're not seeing physical touch like in Morrison's, a True King. I've done a review of that already, so go and check it out. And that review has got 1K views already, so that means a lot of people kind of agree with me on that review. Again, epic movie, we have some criteria that you need to hit when you're shooting an epic movie. You don't want to see none of BBL. When you have BBL, you need to cover it up more. You don't want to mention, you don't want to hear script writing or the actors talking about BBL, bomb, kissing. No. Epic movie, hugging, act of service, sacrifices. Those are the things that make an epic movie what it is. And how the king, prince, queen, the command, how they give us a lot of emotion. If you're not doing that in an epic movie, then you're not doing anything. Epic movie, we want to see more emotion. If you are crying, let us feel what you're. If you are happy, if you are being wicked, let us hate your character. That is what makes an epic movie. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this cinema Yoruba epic movies. Give us something for us to resonate with your character. This is not your Lagos. No, 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 please. If you're shooting epic movie, if you want to even make a comic character, which is also a very comic epic movie, when it's an epic movie where the character is a comedian, we want to laugh. You don't want to question what the hell are you doing. It is not even funny. No, no, we don't want to question the character. You guys need to go back to basics. But again, Judena is actually a very good movie. They kind of nail a lot of things for me. I love how every other character in terms of the village and every other person's acting came together. It was not no, it was really, really, really subtle and very cool. Compare this movie to the other recent epic movies that have come out. Jidenna is actually the best one or the better version of all of them. But again, it's not doing numbers, and I don't know why. I don't know. But if you haven't seen Jidenna, I think you guys should watch it and be the better judge for yourself as well. Rating this movie, I'm going to give it a 5/10. This is actually a break-even movie for me. I like it. They did their homework, and I'm just happy that we didn't see all the city setting in terms of their speech or their script, and that is something that I really, really do appreciate. So yes, Judena showing on Lone Wolf Epic TV. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you all in the next movie review.